Security means he's got me, right? I feel secure. He checks on me. He takes care of things. It doesn't always have to mean money. It could also just be this sense of prioritization. Okay? That's what I would say that security is. And when where attachment styles come in is somebody who has an anxious attachment style. It's already innate in them that they feel abandoned already, that they are clingy, that no matter the most secure man that's there showing her and telling her, she's still going to feel insecure. So it's possible that those statements are coming from somebody who already lacks a certain, like that just needs constant reassurance. So you have to be careful about that.
But how do you...
Where's that source coming from, right?
But how do you like get to like... At some point, that's going to get frustrating.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? So like what advice do you have for like even the person who's constantly doing this, but they're still getting what they want?
Number one, I would recommend everyone read the book, and it's by Adam Levine. I think Levine or Levine. It's called Attached. So first of all, pardon me, having an awareness of what the attachment styles are is one thing, right? The second thing is if you can you don't even have to prove, but if you are providing, you as the man, and by the way, anxious attachment style can happen on both genders. It is not just a man-woman thing. Because, there's some very insecure men out there that be clinging on to their women and it's driving women crazy, right? Like, they just want to leech on. And that's just going to push somebody away.
Absolutely.
So if you know within your own behavior, you're providing that security, you're checking in, you can look at my phone, whatever that requirement is. Sometimes it's a little crazy, right? If you're behaving like she's around and you have this kind of behavior that's fueling her insecurity, that's something else. But to your point, if you have a secure attachment style and you're with this needy person, then you got to just deal with the difficult situation of saying, look, it's on you right now. I'm doing nothing within this relationship except making you feel secure. So right now you need to check yourself or go get some help.
Don't be afraid to leave.
Yeah.
So
because then now you have to ask yourself, what are the merits of this relationship? Are you willing to go the distance with this person and get them to get help? If they have no interest in getting help or even acknowledging that there's an issue, there's a difference. I have a lot of anxiously attached women and men that have come to me that said, thank you for, I didn't even know what the hell anxious attachment style was. I didn't even know that I was being this clingy and doing this and that shit. It's in my head. So you have to give them that exercise. What's real? What's not real? What evidence are they giving you that they're a shitty person? None. Then shut the fuck up. Or like snap out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because then you're going to lose a good person.
Yo, Cuz, what's your attachment style over there, man?
my attachment style. I need a refresh of what exactly that would be.
What are the attachment styles available for my cousin?
There are 4 basic attachment styles. Okay, we're just gonna break down some of this is very, very high level. Okay, very, very high level. Secure. So if you have a secure attachment style, you're confident, safe, appropriate boundaries, comfortable, and responsive. And this is in a normal, healthy relationship.
I'm gonna put that over here.
Anxious, emotionally volatile. You fear rejection. You're anxious and clingy. You romanticize people.
No.
You seek reassurance. So oftentimes, anxious attachment people will prioritize their partner over their own needs. Okay. Fearful. Fears connection, poor boundaries, extreme responses, emotionally hot and cold. Those are the fearful avoidant. And then dismissive. They struggle with closeness. They tend to withdraw. They're overly independent, emotionally distant, and unresponsive. And here is the definition of toxicity. When the dismissive partner gets with an anxious partner.
Holy fuck.
That is the recipe for toxicity and
Guy's whole life is
codependency.
unfolding.
I was over here.
Now that I've heard them all.
Bro, I'm living in toxicity.
It's me, I'm him. So, Cuz, what are you dealing with over there, man?
Bro, I just checked off so many bars. Like,
Which bars
bro,
resonated?
the last 3. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, dismissive. Yeah.
Struggles with closeness.
Yeah.
Over independent? Emotionally distant?
Emotionally distant.
Withdrawing?
I like to be alone.
Okay. And your partner is the anxious one? We won't tell. I mean,
I mean,
somebody you know?
the yeah, you know what I
Okay.
mean. Like I think they would want to be more like secure, but
They're anxious.
yeah, but again, when you're doing everything in the check marks, it just doesn't become.
So yo,
You know?
because that's the classic term. She said that's the recipe for dysfunction. That's the number one toxic relationship. You have an anxious with a dismissive.
Yeah,
The thing is, it doesn't mean it can't, like, first of all, there's the awareness, because this is the first time you're hearing these terms, right? And like you saying, okay, and you be okay with that. I'm not saying you have to change, but those qualities are meant for you to say, okay, is there a different way? Because I'm sure every partner does not want an emotionally distant partner. If you understand you're emotionally distant, where are you taking responsibility or wanting to take responsibility for the emotional distance? Because I think in any intimate relationship that is quote unquote healthy, you talked about security. You asked me that. Security is not being emotionally distant, because then your partner's going to feel very insecure. Doesn't matter if they're a secure person, right? Now, if you communicate that you're emotionally distant, hey, and I'm working through that, or you say I'm emotionally distant, deal with it, then again, you have that choice, right?
Emotionally distant.
I
No.
try not to say deal with it. I try to work on it.
That's perfect.
I like I'm aware of my flaws.
Okay.
Like, you know, I am aware of my flaws. I get like I'm not the best at communicating all the time. Like I'm dismissive at times. Like I don't like to be asked the same questions over and over if I already said I'll talk to you later about it. Like,
Yes.
you know, like I don't make impulsive decisions.
Okay.
I don't say things that will not the relationship can't come back from. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I try to not talk as much, because I feel like when I do those things like be dismissive, it's because I don't want to say something that's gonna make the situation worse. Because the person who, you know, I'm speaking to or wherever, they might be like, I want my answer now, because they need to feel secure.
That's also a communication gap with that partner, right? Because that's sort of saying, look, I'm emotionally distant. I'm not ready to have this conversation. And then the person who's needy says, well, I want to have the conversation now. When I said to you the recipe for disaster, because each of you, I'm not saying you in particular, anybody with these attachment styles that are standing on, planting their flag on both their points, you're not going to come to a resolution.
I would agree.
Right? You because I want the answer now. I don't want to talk to you. Somebody's got to give. Right? So they have to be understanding that their neediness shouldn't supersede your natural inclination to withdraw. Right?
I feel like their neediness becomes their non-negotiable.
And that's something for them to look at. If they're interested in having you open up, so long as there's a reward, right? If they exercise behavior that's different that would have you open up, and you don't open up, then there's no reward for that behavior.
Then that'd be my fault.
Correct. Well, not fault, but that would not help your argument, right? So there's the other thing we didn't introduce is the 4 deadly horsemen of relationships, and we might talk about that at another time, but this is the guaranteed recipe for relationships to end when this is present: criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling.
Okay. Before we go there, because I like the way all those things sound. It's funny. It's not funny, but like my brain's fucked.
Yeah.
What's your attachment styles, bro?
Wait, what was the first one that you said again?
Security.
Secure.
Secure.
Then there's anxious.
So the secure. Sorry, can you define the secure one? That was the
The
only one I missed.
secure one is essentially confident, healthy boundaries, safe, comfortable, responsive.
I would say that probably describes me the most. 'Cause
Okay.
I tell shit up front. Like
Okay.
I'm cool with this. I'm not cool with that. What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like I kind of
That sounds like because that sounds like a secure person that says this is, and actually even in your comments previously saying, look, I know who I am. This is what it is.
yeah.
You like nothing wrong with it.
Like I'm
So
pretty
you stand your
self-aware.
ground. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if she's presenting me with things I don't like, or she's presenting me with things I do like, I have no problem like announcing that. You know.
Okay.
So I would probably say secure. That'd probably be the best one.
Word. I feel like me personally, it's probably a little mixture of like dismissive and secure. Like I don't know, like there's
My
aspects
cousin.
of
You're my cuz.
yeah, last name would imply so. But no, because there's aspects of both things. Like I identify with the same sentiments he was just saying, as well as I do see my flaws. I do see, because I've been single or like to myself or independent for so long. It's kind of like, I don't know, the barrier for entry is kind of high, or the action for entry is kind of high, because like I have a plan or a motion or like the trajectory that I'm aiming to follow, and I'm not letting a relationship kind of like throw me off trajectory. And not necessarily saying like, oh, all relationships do, but I see a lot of men fall in love. You know what I do? I tell man, stand in love, stand your ground, don't fall. When you fall, you have to get back up, shake yourself off and all that. But I do feel that it's a healthy balance. And then the guy would say, oh, you're just a Capricorn. And then I don't like that shit still. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, what does that mean?
You're just a Capricorn. I mean, Capricorns. I'm not. No, I'm just repeating what you said. I don't know.
No, for sure.
Capricorns are usually like stubborn. That
I'm
they
just-
relate.
yeah.
They relate Capricorns to stubborn. My dad was a Capricorn.
Big up your father.
Yeah.
Sorry. But yo, let's go back on to the four horsemen.
Yes.
What was it? Destitute, neglect?
Criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. So that's from the Gottman Institute, Relationship Institute, John Gottman, and he's got some incredible books. But really, think about it. If that's present in any relationship consistently, that is typically the sign that you are going to either divorce, separate, or kill each other, like one or the other.
Hopefully not the last one.
Yes.
So you said criticism, stonewall.
Criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling.
What's contempt?
Contempt is when you're like just resentful.
Okay.
You know, it's just like you just look at that person and you're annoyed.
Like you hate this motherfucker.
Like you're like,
Where's our
it's even
problem?
contemptuous is even like, it's almost cynical. Not just that you don't like them, but you're just like, you know,
I've told
Fuck
somebody
this
that.
person.
yeah.
I've told somebody like, I don't want to. Let's end this before I start to resent you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I've told somebody that.
Yeah, and then of course, contempt is the worst of the four horsemen. It is the number one predictor of divorce, but it can be defeated. And the reason it's the most destructive negative behavior because of the fact that like it's almost malicious, you know, when you have contempt for somebody. And then a stonewalling is literally just silence. If you're, to a degree, emotional withdrawal is a form of stonewalling. But if you are consistently like that without remedy or awareness that I can fix that, that's one thing. And then criticism is just, oh my God, I had a partner at one time that just like nothing I could do or say. It was just like
Nothing was good enough.
Can't
nothing
please
was, it's just no. Had to be done this way or that way, or and even when the challenge is sometimes partners feel like them saying things to you is not a criticism, but like just a way for them to communicate. But it's in the delivery sometimes
yep.
of that message.
Yeah.
And when they deliver the message and how they deliver the message. Like, I just got home. I'll put my jacket up when I feel like it. It doesn't have to be like right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and it's also about understanding like your own triggers. Hey, I'm feeling really triggered right now. Like, you know what I mean? It's being able
that
to
makes sense.
communicate
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
So those are the other four things that to be really mindful of. Aside from all the lovey-dovey stuff, you got to know what behaviors will actually destroy a relationship.
So for the audience, make sure you guys are mindful of not only your attachment styles. What are those other styles called?
The four deadly
pillars.
horsemen
The
of
four deadly horsemen.
relationships.
You got to cover all your bases.
Yes.
Make sure you got to know your faults, your strengths, and your weaknesses.